Hey you guys, welcome back to Southern Latitudes. I'm Robin, and today I have a very special treat for you because we're making elderberry syrup right from my very own tree and the berries. And so I've been collecting them all year long, and today is a great day for me to go in the house and cook. I'm already cooking cranberry concentrate to make holiday drink, and then I'm gonna make a winter squash soup. So anyhow, but those recipes are with this, and I will put the cranberry concentrate video at the end of this. But also I just wanted to store and preserve, even though it's my first time making elderberry syrup, I wanted to preserve my recipe and the things that I learned in my research gathering into one video for me to go back and to refer to. And if you guys have already made it and you're experts in this area, please let me know if you have any advice or tips so I can change it as I make next year's batch. All right, let's get in the kitchen. So what I've been doing all year long is I have an elderberry tree outside, and I have been growing my own elderberries. Let's see if I can make that easier for y'all to see. There we go. And well, as long as we're at it, we should probably weigh and see how much elderberry I have grown. This is my ginger. I just pulled the ginger out. That's going in my recipe as well. Okay, there we go. So with sticks, well, some of the sticks fell out. Hold on. Oh, this bag was starting to break down in the cold freezer. I threw everything from the tree into the freezer. There are some leaves in here. But anyhow, this is not just a true berry weight, but this is overall just like a harvest weight. Is gonna be at almost a full pound, 0.925. And now I'm going to remove the sticks. You see how that's all this stuff from the berries. So what I have seen other people do is they'll take the sticks. Hold on, maybe I should move that over there and bring this closer. And they just rake the fork through it. Now this might just be like initial, you might have to still pick through, but that's what I've seen other people on YouTube do. Okay, as I was sitting here picking the berries, I thought I would just kind of share some thoughts with you. So when they're frozen, they're great. And you can absolutely do this without a fork. That might be just as easy, but the price you pay for that, and I see why people use a fork, is because they don't probably want their fingers all stained. For me, it'll be okay. Most of my berries are still frozen, not all, but a good many of them are frozen. So I grew these elderberries on a tree. This is really in my tree's second year of life. And the first year it did put out blooms, but I didn't actually have any bees come visit it. This year the bees found it. We have lots of elderberries in here. If you don't have an elderberry tree, that's no problem. You can actually buy elderberries online. I'm not really sure of the sources, but I've heard a lot of people say they buy it online. I'm fortunate that I'm not having to do that. I was buying, and I still have, stock of Sambucol elderberry syrup, but I thought this would be nice to learn a new skill and move into the world of medicinals. Even though it might be at a snail's pace, I'm moving, you know, one tree, one bush at a time with knowledge. And yeah, so now eventually I'm going to strain all this out so I don't have to worry about every little tiny little branch, stick, but I did want to get the majority of them out of here, and the leaves. And they went right from the tree into my yellow bag, And I just kept them in the deep freeze, and every week just kept adding and adding and adding to it. So that was really nice. Then you just do this process all at one time at the end of your season, which happens to be right in time for winter. And then this is my medicinal syrup for like when you catch flus and colds. The essentials are the elderberry, and then you would add honey unless you have a baby under 1 year old, and then you can use like maple syrup as a substitute. You might be able to use agave. I'm not really sure. Probably wouldn't want to use sugar substitutes. And I don't know about stevia yet. I do have a stevia plant, but I'm not there yet with having enough of that to have syrup, but to make a simple syrup and then put it into elderberry. Maybe that'll come in future years, and I'll redo this video one time in the future. But anyhow, so no honey for babies under 1, but everybody else, you'll want to have berries, water, honey. These are optional. Cloves of cinnamon, or cloves, and then cinnamon and ginger root. I picked my ginger root a few minutes ago. I have whole cinnamon sticks, but I also have powder if that's the way I go. But I find the cinnamon sticks are I like that flavor better. Okie dokie. Sorry, my kitchen is a mess because I'm doing like 3 different things at one time in the kitchen, so I have a lot of my bowls and stuff out. Okay, so I have got my scale on. I have tared it with the measuring cup on, so that doesn't affect the weight of my berries. And again, it's not perfect because I still have a little bit of the little stems in there. But I do want to get an accurate measurement so I know how much honey and everything else to put in. Okay, that is a good 2 cups right there. Actually, it's more than 2 cups. Well, that's still a little bit much. Okay, so 2 cups appears to be about half a pound of elderberries. So I don't know if that's important to somebody, but there's a point of reference for you. The remainder of the berries ended up being another 1.25 cups. 1.25 cups, that's better. And then 0.3 pounds. So altogether, I have almost 0.8 pounds of elderberries. I have, that would be 3.25 cups of berries if you're using it by measure. The good thing about your homegrown medicinals, and this is organic, I suggest you get, if you order organic. But it's really awesome that everything that I have, well, not everything, but my berries are organic. And then this ginger just came out of the ground like an hour ago, if that. And this is all organic too, and I'm grating that in. I love ginger, but I don't want it to be too strong, so I think I'll reserve on using the second piece until I get a little taste of this. By the way, don't eat your elderberries raw. Cook them first. That's 2 cups of water. I'm going to add 1/3. Okay, actually I'm going to put in 4 because I have more elderberries than most people. I'm making like a double batch. I'm going to put in, and you don't have to measure exactly. I'm going to put on some heat too. That's 2 cinnamon sticks. Let's go ahead and put a 3rd one in. Bunch of cloves. Now you can do ground cloves, but I want to strain mine out. I don't mind the flavor, but I don't want to hit any massive flavor, like chunks in my food, in my medicine. But there's great medicinal benefits there. So let me go ahead and stir this. I'm going to simmer this now for 45 minutes with all the ingredients in it. And then after that, I'll add my honey. So I watched a second YouTube video, and because I felt a little uncertain about water to berries ratio. So she had included all her, she was a wealth of information. I will link her to the end of this video. And so she had a general rule for a strong syrup was 1 ounce of elderberry to 4 ounces of water. So for me, at 0.8 pounds, which equaled 12.8 ounces, that came up to 51.2 ounces of water. And I adjusted it. I had 4 cups in here already, and I added 2.3 cups of water. I mean, you don't have to be that exact, but I felt like for my first time, I needed to have a little bit more structure in my recipe for me going forward. And then after this is done and strained, actually you're going to kind of press it out. I'll show you that in a minute. You would take 16 ounces of this syrup. You would again measure it, and when it's like just above room temperature, you want to have it like under 110 degrees, because I would like to keep mine raw with my raw honey. So with that being said, then you cut like 16 ounces of syrup cut in half to 8 ounces of honey. And that makes it, or syrup or sugar if you can't have honey, but if you're in a strange situation. But honey has a lot of medicinal benefits. So I will be using honey, and those are the actual numbers. I have, what's on my card from, I can't remember. I think I got this off the internet, somebody local who made it. But anyhow, I wanted you to know, just in case you were curious, you're like me, you're not buying it, but you just have it in your yard and fresh. And so I kind of need a little structure. Now you can play around with it. I did end up adding a little more ginger. It's making the house smell amazing. And the cloves, all that smells really good. You can play around, add things, take away things. If it's very holiday-ish smelling in the house between this and the cranberries next door over here. Let me show you real quick. Woo! Can you even see that? Yeah. Those are cooking away real nice. Okay, I want to clarify and change something. So my recipe said simmer for 45 minutes with all the ingredients. And after listening to that lady who seemed a whole lot more knowledgeable, I added an extra 20 minutes to make sure I cook this down. And it's simmering, and as you can see, I hope you can see, the steam is coming off of it right here. There you go, there's the 20-minute mark, plus the 45. So overall, we've been going over an hour, which is what she recommended. So I feel like I'm right there between my notes, other videos, and her very specific video. I feel like we've cooked it, it's safely, removed whatever toxins they say is in raw elderberry. But anyhow, I think we're good to go. Here's my cinnamon sticks in here, and some of the stems I know to separate it out. And the cloves are in there too. So let's go strain this. Okay, so my first mesh wasn't very small. This one's even smaller. So I'm going to use this to further strain any potential sticks. I'm not seeing any in that first one, and I'm also going to measure because I want to know the total ounces so I can know the total ounces of honey going in. Okay, that's 2 cups right there, which is 16 ounces. There's just very little impurities. See if I can show you that. Just very, very little. That looks like skins. I have it in a saucepan, but I'm not actually going to do any more warming because, as I mentioned earlier, I want to let this cool down for the sake of adding the honey and keeping that raw, the medicinal parts of the honey raw. My husband came in the house and he's like, it smells so good in here. He goes, what am I smelling? I'm like, well, it's like everything. Okay, that's another 2 cups, so 4 cups there. Let's go ahead and just pour now that we're near the end. Wow, almost a full 6 cups. That's pretty cool. And again, that's all that you can see, the little bits. Can you see that? That's all that was extra after the first straining, and now that's the second with the finer mesh. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this into my big container because when I add all the extra honey as it cools, I just want to have that extra space for stirring. Okay, gonna let it cool, and then I'll do my math and see how much honey I need to add. Let me show you what else I'm cooking. So this is the cranberry concentrate, also making the house smell extremely Christmassy. And the berries have all cooked down, and this needs to be strained next. And then we can these. Again, the recipe will be at the end of this video, but we can these and make it shelf stable. But I usually keep a jar back for that night, you know. Oh my goodness, I was talking to nobody. I turned on the camera, but I forgot to start rolling. So this said 110 degrees. We were still raw. I was saying also that I get my honey at Webb's, Webb's Honey in Orlando, Wildflower. So I get it by the gallon, and that way I don't have to buy it, but every other year. So, and then I had 6 cups of elderberry syrup. So I poured in, there's no more of that, but I poured in 3 cups of the honey, and then I stirred it. Sorry, I'm reviewing all this because it wasn't recording. I want to put my light on in, like a flashlight in here, so you could see the true color of it. And it was just slightly warm, so it dissolved that honey down and incorporated into the elderberry syrup. Look at that beautiful deep color. It's gorgeous. And then I took a sip, and it was so delicious I needed to do it twice. So now this is my 3rd time. That is so much better than Sambucol, which I do love. But oh, that is so much better. Oh, because it has the cinnamon. I taste a slight bit of cloves. The ginger's so good for you. I have a bunch of these glass kombucha jars, and that's what I'm going to use to, I wonder if I can just pour. Let's see. That would be so much faster. Kombucha jars to store this in. Now, sugar is a preservative and can make some things shelf stable. Oh, I had a boo-boo. But I don't know if this is, I'm just going to put mine in the refrigerator, to be quite honest with you. I have a garage fridge. It can hold a lot of stuff just like this. Here. And I'm just going to fill up all these. If my my eldest son and his family get sick, I can just give them a jar. I think that would be good. Oh, one more. Or if one of us is sick and you don't want to handle that person's bottle, you know, if they've been touching it with germs. So this would be nice to have little individual bottles in the fridge for people to take. That looks pretty good. I just have a touch left. Let's see if I can disperse it amongst these. Again, this is not shelf stable. It might be if I had the math for sure right for the sugar to preserve, but since I don't know that I do, I'm putting this in the fridge just like the lady on YouTube said. And especially since this is my first go at it. But there you go. Homemade elderberry syrup. These are for, let's see, they are 16 fluid ounce bottles. All right, well, thank you for joining me today in the kitchen, and I enjoyed having you along with me. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, whatever, any way you can bless this channel, I would appreciate that. Leave some comments down below too. So you guys, I hope you have a great day. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.